Hello and welcome to this webinar, How to Change Your Chronic Fatigue Syndrome State and Finally Start Improving Your Health. I'm going to answer this question by showing you the 4 vital principles you need to adhere to be able to defeat fatigue. Why taking care of your fluid is vital for reducing and removing your chronic fatigue syndrome symptoms, and how to start doing so in 3 easy steps from today. Last but most important, how to build your confidence in the body and its strength and seeing the first incredible results. My name is Tommaso Perego, registered herbalist, naturopath, nutritionist, and iridologist. I am a researcher focused on chronic fatigue syndrome, therapies for the balance of the extracellular matrix. I studied also minerals and plants, raw food diets, and I have a lot of interest also in the ethic of foods and food policy and sustainability. I practice online and in central London in the UK and lecture at the College of Naturopathic Medicine, CNM, London. So what will you learn during this presentation? The new successful way to approach chronic fatigue syndrome symptoms therapeutically. How to be involved in the treatment and gain confidence and strength day after day. How to get the right support and adjustment at the right time, so to avoid relapses. Is this for you? Well, if you're a person that currently struggles with tiredness, muscular and joint pain, low energy levels, and poor and unrefreshing sleep, then this is definitely for you. These symptoms are shared between chronic fatigue syndrome and a number of other illnesses. So if you have some or just one of the above symptoms, then this video still works for you, even if you did not know about chronic fatigue syndrome before. Chronic fatigue syndrome, as I'm sure you know, is a very critical situation. People are sick and tired of the fatigue, the pain, the poor sleep, and the brain fog. Also feeling stuck and being forced to opt for damage limitation is the only option most of the times. And this is unacceptable. You cannot plan ahead. You cannot progress in your personal relationships, in your life in general, because you cannot deliver, you cannot be there. The situation brings fear. It is scary. So chronic fatigue syndrome is a difficult illness because it's not like a cold or a little pain here and there. It is something that debilitates entirely the body, physically, mentally, and it's a huge challenge also spiritually. On top of that, having the doctors not giving you an answer, it is the realization of a perfect nightmare. We don't want to be in that. So what's the real explanation that we need to focus on to get past this critical situation and move on and solve it? The body cannot deliver certain important functions like running, walking, sleeping, resting, or thinking. And the other is that the body is in pain. And so our only focus, only goal should be to choose a therapeutic journey that can enable those functions again without feeling pain. So what if I show you today that there is a solution to chronic fatigue syndrome and is as simple as changing the diet and taking some herbal medicine, although organized strategically to work synergetically? What if I told you that there is a way to reduce or even eliminate the tiredness and pains that afflict you? What if I told you that because of these prompt successes, you will remove the fear that your body is unable to sustain healing anymore and become more powerful because of that? So improving your own healing by the day. There is a but. To do so, you must be at peace with the idea that the body alone can bring you back as you were. So the secret of your healing sits in your body. You must accept that the therapy is not a pill solving all the problems, but instead is a gentle nurturing, a deep resolving process that you need to engage with your body. You need to be aware that there are changes to be made to your habits and lifestyle that will bring incredible rewards. But potentially there will be an effort to be made. So here is the secret that I hope will give you the key to understanding the problem and the solution that I'm proposing. Science knows that the mechanisms that bring problems with fatigue, energy management, sudden inflammations, muscular or nervous and joint pains, immunity imbalances, lie in the fluids of your body, more precisely in the extracellular matrix. Look up for the work of Pischinger, who demonstrated scientifically and gave proof of the workings of the extracellular matrix, or the work of Wood, which just recently published a book about the extracellular matrix and therapeutics for it. But that knowledge, and here is the secret, never reached therapeutic practice, the one that you access through the GP. So wherever you go to the GP, you don't get to know how to solve those problems. Actually, you get therapies that actually can harm you even further. So let's understand what is the extracellular matrix, how does it look like, where is it in the body, so you can have the same enlightenment that I received when I study these things. So if you imagine this layer here is the layer of your skin, underneath it you have a little, very little portion full of water and fluids represented by this green color. Inside those fluids, there's a lot of organelles, proteins, and fibers, including capillaries that bring the blood. The blood coming into here will osmotically diffuse into this water to reach then here, bringing the nutrients, bringing the immune system there to protect and nourish the skin. Where is it around the body? Well, it's everywhere. If you think about your heart, it's around the cardiac muscle. If you think about your muscles that pull your arm and make you move, the skeletal muscle is surrounded by the matrix. Or the smooth muscles that cover all the lining and commands the movement of your intestines. And inside the intestine, where we absorb our food, there is also the matrix. Wherever we are, there are fluids surrounding our tissues. They are basically the medium, the intermediary in every part of our body. Look, they all feel around the brain. They are surrounding the spinal cords and our nerves. And they are surrounding our tendons, again, similar to the skeletal muscle to produce our movement. They are in our bones and fat too. So it's absolutely everywhere. Let's see now microscopically. You see here that we have a vessel, like a capillary full of blood, that is surrounded, imagine this picture as if it were 360 degrees, by these fluids. And this picture is actually showing the nerve terminals are coming right down near the vessel. That explains that when you feel an emotion, a strong emotion, your heart pulses faster because the vessels are receiving the signal to contract or to relax according to the nervous impulse. That explain the blushing, for example. When you feel a strong emotion and you're blushing on the surface, it means the blood reach more of the surface. So those vessels nearby the surface of your face, of your cheek, receive an impulse, and the impulse is given by this nerve terminal, commanding the vessel through the fluid, sending chemical modifier that will make the molecules inside the vessel to behave in a certain way or the other. Going even more in depth, this is where the cell is. Here is the inside of the cell, here is the outside of the cell. And you can tell that we have fluids around the cells as well. That should convince you that nothing happens if not through the fluids in our body, meaning the discharge of waste, the clearing of waste, the passing of nourishment, the signaling of action, electrical action, or hormonal via chemical messages, they all pass through these fluids. Imagine pain. Fluids create a buffer. If you do not have enough of fluids, you are mostly dehydrated. Fluids cannot protect you, so you don't have the intermediary. If fluids are stagnant, moving too little, they don't have the right chemical composition to defeat inflammation, which brings pain, or external agents like virus and bacteria creeping in. By fast moving the immune system defenses where they are needed, the fluids defend, but if they are stagnant, they can't do it. If fluids are acidic or electrically imbalanced, they can affect the way hormone messages or nerve messaging are received. Imagine sleep. If your fluids have poor composition, they have less ability to kill off fast the viruses and the bacteria. They might need to double up the effort, and mostly that happens during sleep. That's why you're waking up tired. Imagine fatigue. If the fluids are filled with toxin, they won't have any other space left for nourishment to come in. If fluids are too acidic because of the toxin, they can damage the passage of nourishment. If fluids are too slow, they will struggle to drain and renew, and you will be feeling like bathing in the same waters every day, excuse the strong image. So far, people suffering from chronic fatigue syndrome will opt for either suppression therapies that bring one good thing, but 3 other problems to the table. You take a painkiller and you heal maybe your pain for that day, but then you provide intoxication, inflammation, and pain because the drugs provide waste and toxins that you need to remove. But if your fluids are not good in doing that, you're stuck with more toxin. Or you do damage limitation therapies where they maintain the state of intoxication because they prevent you from doing the steps needed to actually clear. And although it's understandable why someone wants to opt for damage limitation therapies, it's not a solution. You maintain the status quo, so you don't actually get rid of the chronic fatigue syndrome. So how would you expect to recover from an exertion if, for example, you have poor circulation, lack of fluidity, you are out of optimal pH range, you have poor nourishment and poor absorbing membranes? It's impossible. This picture, I hope, will finally clarify the situation of a chronic fatigue syndrome sufferer. On the left-hand side, you see a normal situation where the skin is thriving and the matrix, extracellular matrix underneath is thriving too, full of life, full of organelles, full of functioning proteins, fibroblasts, adipocytes, all doing their job. On the right-hand side, you have a picture of an aged person. And an aged person classically loses fluid, is quite more dehydrated than a normal, a younger person. And see what happens when you have less fluids or lack of function because maybe acidity or toxins. That's the situation of a chronic fatigue syndrome sufferer. You have less function. Some of the fibroblasts stop working, stop responding to the stimulus passing through chemically and electrically through the matrix, through the fluids. And the consequence, it can be seen in the skin, for example, start opening up. And that means the skin, which is a barrier, is letting pathogen in. So you're more vulnerable to issues. I think that the state of a chronic fatigue syndrome sufferer has to be compared with the person that has problem of something lacking in the way the matrix is organized and is able to provide function to nourish and pass in information. If we go at the root of this problem, you have a solution in your hands. So what can heal the fluids? Diet, a specific protocol with strategically studied foods, can create a radical change in your body to bring back power, strength, elasticity, and endurance. Herbal medicine has the power to reorganize your fluids. When you ingest a herb, you do it or by eating it fresh, and so it gets digested and becomes part of your fluids after the digestion and absorption, or you drink a tea, or you drink a tincture, or you drink the powder mixed in water. So basically, they automatically and very quickly enter the fluids of your body, and their medicinal properties are able to bring back balance. What does it mean? If the fluids are in balance or they have some issues, the herbs strategically thought of come in, modify their arrangement, bring motion, bring circulation, bring tension and relaxation, bring heat or cold, so to modify the imbalances that are currently in the fluids. This action is literally almost magical the way they have this effect. And associating the diet with the herbal medicine is one of the most powerful things you can do to heal the fluids. And what happens when you heal the fluids? Your mucous membranes, the tissue, the organs regain respectively elasticity, function, speed, and strength. Your sensation switch from pain to feeling strong and energetic. However, the above two steps cannot ever happen if your fluids are not healthy. How to avoid relapses, and in particular, the fear of relapses? Well, once the progressive improvement of your fluids has started, there won't be relapses. However, in the process of improving the fluids, you might feel the effort of the detoxification and nourishment, and you will need ad hoc support. That's when the herbal medicine could be of incredible help, as they act directly on your body fluids, tissue, and membranes, provoking the right reaction to face and overcome the challenges. So here we go. Here are the 4 vital principles that you need to have in mind and target when you start a healing journey for chronic fatigue syndrome. You have to have clean fluids, strong tissues and membranes, good hydration, and incredible nutrition. All of the above are achieved with the help of tailored herbal medicine and foods. So the 3 easy steps to start your healing journey. The first one is to delay the breakfast. And then, here's the catch, break the fast with fruit only. So imagine you wake up at 8 o'clock, try to delay it for a couple of hours, like 10, 10:30, your breakfast. And when you break the fast and you eat something, eat just fruits. It could be, in this winter season, just a few apples or some pears or bananas. It doesn't matter as long as you don't mix more than 3 types. But break the fast with the fruits. Why? Because people, it's quite popular to do this morning fast. But when they break the fast, they eat eggs, avocado, bread, porridge, or whatever. And that is when they don't complete efficiently the process of elimination. If instead, once you have given the body a couple of extra hours to complete the process of elimination that it's been doing through the night, from the moment you stop your dinner, the body will be able to clean more perfectly. And then with the help of fruits, you will nourish your body, nourish yourself, but also helping the process of elimination to be completed. You might have to go probably to the bathroom after you do so. But don't eat any food after half an hour you just ate your fruits. Just give the time, and you already have 1 step ahead of anybody else trying to heal your chronic fatigue syndrome. After that, you can have your breakfast if you're still hungry. Second easy step is change your water routine. How much water do you drink each time? That is a question that you need to consider. We are under constant intellectual stimulus in our age. Even if you just look at your phone for a couple of hours, that's already enough to be an extraordinary stimulus that provoke the brain to suck up all the waters that we drink. So the most important thing is to avoid sipping when you drink. And initiate a routine that each time you drink 1 or 2 large glasses each time, if possible. The explanation is quite long, and I already given you a handout when you registered for this webinar. But the idea is to allow the brain to get this portion of water, but not steal all the water that is coming in for its function, but allow the water to distribute evenly around the body so that it can go to the area that are required. The other rule, the first rule is so 2 glasses each time you drink. And the second rule is do not drink while you're eating. Give us also always half an hour before or 1 hour and a half after. Of course, you can drink at any time you're thirsty, but try to bring this routine, and in a couple, let's say 3 or 4 days, you will see incredible changes to your lifestyle. The third step is add more salad to your meals. This elimination that we are promoting with the use of fruit, delaying the breakfast and increasing the water, can be completed and perfected by adding a broom to your meals. Literally, a broom made of fiber, vegetable fiber, that can help you eliminate the solid waste stuck in your body and lingering there, losing and producing toxin the more it stays there. Usually, food waste, so our stools, should come out within 20 hours you have eaten. But that never happens in people unless people with a very special diet, like raw diet or fruitarians. Because most of the foods that our civilization offer are very sticky, are very gooey, and they stuck to our membranes, make it impossible to go out in 20 hours, meaning being exposed to putrefaction and fermentation. So one solution is to obviously embark on a proper dietary protocol. But as an easy step for you today, add a big salad to your meal. In the handout I've given you, there are some ideas. The most important thing that you need to know is lettuce, carrots, and celery. These 3 should be added to each meal. And having them raw, it's even better. You can always dress them. So we're not going to go into the detail of this now. But if at lunch you have to eat your rice or your meat or whatever you're eating, no judgment, you eat it with this powerful mechanical tool, which is the salad, you will have better elimination. And so you will make sure that your foods don't stay too long and don't stick to your membrane, creating intoxication problems. So in a minute, I will also tell you how I can support you even better than just giving you a handout in successfully making this step in a fun and easy way. But first, what are the destroyers of this change? First is I'd rather stay as I am. I can do it myself. It's too hard to follow. I will do it later. I know that there are bad experiences. Maybe nothing worked before, nothing works, and you feel damaged and you'd rather be in this state rather than to get even worse. You don't want to enter another never-ending tunnel. You're scared of change. You're scared of something unknown. How do I answer to that? I answer that your body is your own truth. It is not damaged forever. It is in trouble, but can go back as it was. Actually, can become even better. So far, how many simple and clear answers have you received about chronic fatigue syndrome? Why would you rather stay as you are? What makes you stay there? Is probably just fear. The plan can seem too hard to follow. And if it's too hard to follow a protocol, you just want a quick solution. But wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to defeat your fatigue in just a day without any effort? I believe it really would, but at the same time, this is not realistic. Think about this for a moment. If defeating chronic fatigue syndrome didn't require any work, why would you still have it? So I'm sure that in the depth of your heart, you know that there is no such thing as an easy solution for chronic fatigue syndrome. You've seen the forums, you've seen the Facebook groups, you've tried the shortcuts. If they did work, you wouldn't be reading this. So let me share something with you that chronic fatigue syndrome is a problem of the fluids of your body. It is complex because fluids are everywhere in the body, delivering several and different functions depending on where they are. If it was an easy thing to treat the fluids, you wouldn't need any help. A pill does not solve it. Healing from chronic fatigue is a regeneration process that requires effort, but it's doable. And you don't need to make 100 travels up and down the doctor for testing and checks. You now know what you need to do. Science is there, out there for you to read, but you need to know how to treat it therapeutically, which is to deliver a regeneration of your fluids, and you will thrive again. So why are you not doing it if you can do it yourself? How are you getting out of it when nothing you have tried has worked so far? I know that you might have considered trying to solve by yourself chronic fatigue syndrome. You watch YouTube videos, read blogs, and perhaps you even bought several books and joined groups specialized on Facebook. And some of these groups may have helped you, and some of the people in the group feels like a family maybe, and that's beautiful. But let me ask you a question. Have you fully defeated your chronic fatigue syndrome symptoms? Have you solved your fatigue, the pain, the relapses completely? Are those really gone for good? The last point is I will do it later. When exactly are you going to do this? When enough is enough? By keeping yourself in known territory, you won't heal. Have you done this for how long? How long more you want to wait? So I know how overwhelming it can feel to deal with an urgent health situation. It is easy to research and find the opposite of everything. It is a difficult and confusing situation. Unfortunately, this is your current situation, and no amount of delay will change that. You have fatigue and you need to do something about it, and you need to do it now. When it comes to health, it is extremely rare that a chronic urgent situation like chronic fatigue syndrome will solve itself. How long have you been dealing with your chronic fatigue syndrome for? Has your fatigue improved in the past only to come back? What makes you believe that this time will be different? I think there should be a moment to accept that enough is enough and it is time to take massive action and fix the problem once and for all. It is absolutely possible, not by staying in a Facebook group, but by doing a therapeutic protocol that is based on a successful concept and practice, and it has already achieved a lot of healing in a lot of people. So this is why I am inviting you to book an exploratory call with me. You are here learning about chronic fatigue syndrome. You're listening to the webinar and you might be feeling that you want to take the next step for yourself. The step that will give you access to guidance and support throughout your healing journey. So let's do something together. Let me invite you to a free strategy call. During this call, I will ask you the relevant questions regarding your health, your medical history, the medication you are or were taking, and that is designed to really reconstruct what went wrong when it comes to your health. It is possible to gain back your strengths, and as many people have done it. It is possible for chronic fatigue syndrome to become an experience of the past, a health situation when you won't have to manage or worry about anymore, as you will have developed a greater sensitivity and control on your body functions and strength. This is all possible and real, as many people have already done before you. Imagine this scenario: to be able to finally feel safe, in control, able to do and plan things with others, friends, and family, even able to be late for a bus because now you can finally run for it. That's what I heard from one of my clients. Chronic fatigue syndrome does not need to be permanent. Improve your health, give it a try. So if you click the link down below, you will be able to discuss your personal situation in our free exploratory call called Chronic Fatigue Syndrome Natural Therapy Exploratory Call. It is going to be your first big step to get your health back. In the call, we will be able to decide if we are a good fit for each other and we can start working together. So we can then choose the right herbal medicine formulas and tailor your plan. But by booking your call, clicking the link below, you will also receive access to the following bonuses. Access to the Earth and Cosmos app. So for logging your food journals, mood and water intake, why is that is useful? Because if you do so, I can see it and I can feedback to you and send you messages and saying, oh, maybe you change here, maybe you change there. What did you eat today? And you can even post pictures of your food if you like doing so. The second point is the access to the Bloom Diet course. But basically, it's a series of video lectures, very short, to help you to put together the foods. And so if you're trying these 3 steps that I proposed to you today, why not also watching these videos, which are completely free for you, which is a course on how to prepare the meals, give you some suggestion for recipes. That could be fantastic for you to explore, to have some more ideas on recipes and combination or how actually to do it. The third thing, that you can join the Chronic Fatigue Syndrome Natural Therapy Facebook group at the link below. It is an online place to find support and share your healing journey with herbs and foods with people that has loved the idea of healing naturally like you. That's it. Don't forget, you also have received already the PDF handout. That could be a quick reference to how to do the 3 steps. So let's speak then. If you have any queries, you can also email me at this address. Thank you.